Tonight, I'll be a naughty girl.
Oh, and my pussy.
Perfect. Welcome to Soft Launch, episode 35.
Yes!
It's 35. We feeling live.
Oh my God, I was about to say 35 like me, but I'm 36.
Yeah.
So never mind.
So be a little fucking patient and think about it next time before you cut me off in the beginning of the episode before you get disciplined. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here. This is Soft Launch. I am JC Mendoza.
I am Samantha Santos.
Yeah, a.k.a. Sammy Ethers. A.K.A. Sammy New Jobs.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Sammy Disciplines.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta get because you pissed me off already. Yeah. A.K.A. Sammy High Noons for the day.
You know? Sammy's wasted.
Yeah. A.K.A. Sammy Crossfades. Because she had a little weed and she's having a little booze. She on the alcohol.
Sammy Thesaurus, because I gotta look it up to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but we're here. We're live. We're feeling great. It's Monday. It's President's Day. The only time you'll ever hear us say this. Shout out to all the presidents of this great nation.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Love you guys. It's never been a bad
Crush Monday. For all, what is it, 50 something presidents?
Yeah, it's called President's Day. It should be called Seniors Day.
Yeah,
because that's the only people who've been in office.
Yeah, especially right now. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just what it is.
Just gonna have to celebrate them also on Alzheimer's Month.
Oh,
as well.
yeah, definitely big time. But
plus, I can't remember anything.
Yeah, I can't remember anything. I can't even remember what the fuck we're supposed to talk about this episode. But we're here.
We're here.
We're gonna have fun. We're locked in. Episode 35. We're here live. We're having a good time. It's a beautiful Monday. It's sunny. We feel great. We're just gonna jump into our first segment. One thing about we, and we're gonna let Samantha take it over because she's got a new nickname that she's gonna debut.
Do I?
Yeah, Sammy Throw Ups.
Sammy Projectile Vomits.
Yeah, Sammy Vomits.
So on Saturday, I only had one show. It was a midnight show.
Yeah.
And I really was in a mood. Go figure.
Yeah, Saturday was a tough day because you forgot that you had that spot.
Yeah.
And you were upset that you didn't have more. And I've been there. I've been there a million times.
So anyway, whatever. It was a day of reflection, and I was in a mood. And then I had a midnight show. I was trying to catch trains. You know how the trains work on the weekends. It was like impossible.
It was worse this weekend than usual.
Yeah, like every F train was like every 35 minutes. And it just so happened that anytime I was looking for it, it just like one had just passed. Mm-hmm. So anyway, whatever. I finally get the train. It literally was supposed to come in 30 minutes. Yeah. And then it came in like 45 minutes.
Which is crazy because if it says 30 minutes already, that's
insane.
Ridiculous.
So it was forever. Whenever I got there and I was like, you know what? I'm like walking in the street and I'm like, it's going to be a good thing. It's just like I'm having like kind of a kind of day. Yeah. And I'm going to go and this spot's going to be killer. Yeah. And I'm going to turn my fucking night around.
Yeah.
So I get in there.
And it's a crazy thing that you thought that because the spot.
It was a midnight spot at the Grizzly Pear. But to be fair, the Grizzly Pear, I've had some of my best nights there.
Yeah, facts. Especially Friday, Saturday, 8 to 10 is guaranteed heaters usually.
Make no mistake, when I'm huge and I'm doing like my documentary on my life, the Grizzly Pear will be a huge part because the Grizzly Pear has a huge hand in building my confidence in comedy.
Facts. Those 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock Friday, Saturday shows, as good as any room in the city, guaranteed heater. But now the only guaranteed heater at the Grizzly Pear is the fucking temperature because it's a million degrees in that
they're
room.
trying to kill the audience.
I don't know
it's literally insane.
It's like a fucking Bikram class.
No, it's so, honestly, and I threw up at my first Bikram class. No, it's so hot at the Grizzly Pear right now. It's completely unbearable. Yeah. I was on stage and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pass out. Yeah. It's not like kind of hot. It is like a project apartment times 35. Yeah. It's unbearable. I don't know. It's definitely against code, but don't call because the only place that books me.
Yeah. So if you guys are trying to lose weight and you don't want to work out and you can't afford Ozempic, just ask us when we're going to be at the Grizzly Pear. Come wear a garbage bag and lose about 45 pounds. It's way cheaper than buying a gym membership. Yeah.
Find the outfit that Bradley Cooper wore in Silver Linings Playbook and come on through the Grizzly Pear. Yeah. McDougal Street, don't go to Midtown. It stinks. I'm so out of breath.
Yeah, just like everybody in the fucking Pear.
Yeah, the Grizzly Pear. So anyway, I go to the Grizzly Pear. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Brandon Trusso was there in the beginning. So
Shout
I was
out
like,
BT the GOAT.
And then he ended up leaving. Yeah. And
it's a midnight show. He's got better things.
Yeah. So it was great. I was talking to a couple comics. Good time. Show starts. Fine. I'm sitting on a stool outside of the showroom, and the showroom is just, there's no door. It's just a curtain. So I'm sitting there. I'm scrolling on my phone. What's his name? Who's the guy that I love that I think is so funny with the red hair? Can't think. This is no.
Alan Fitzgerald.
Just I'm terrible.
Shout out to Alan Fitzgerald. Has a very funny special on YouTube.
Yes.
Fat white guy. He's hysterical.
He's so so incredibly funny.
Yeah.
And he's standing there talking to Eddie. I'm in the corner on my phone scrolling. And then out of absolutely nowhere, I just feel like splat in my face, and I see the curtain move. And immediately I'm like, somebody spit at me. Like
Jesus Christ.
Then
like on some New York pumpkin.
Literally. And I'm like, I just got spit on. Now I'm gonna kill somebody. And then I notice it's just a man projectile vomiting, and he is like, it's uncontrollable. It's like he's possessed. It's pouring out of his mouth, and and now he's like, there's a garbage. You know, there's a stool and there's like a garbage here, and he starts throwing up the garbage. And I'm like, oh my,
wait a minute.
I have throw up. And then I look.
How long did it take you to put 2 and 2 together?
I mean, it was like a quick 3 seconds, but like, you know what I mean? As it happened, I'm like, I make eye contact with Alan, and I'm just holding him like, it's on me. And then he's like, no. And like, I grab like, I like jump like where the water is, and I grab like a paper towels, and I pulled them down. I'm like wiping off the skin on my face.
Jesus
and then I'm like,
Christ.
I touch my hair, and it's in my hair.
Oh!
Yeah. And it just smells like cranberry vodka, because make no mistake, the guy, he wasn't a real guy. You know, he's drinking cranberry vodkas.
If it was whiskey, I could have fucking taken it, because at least men are being men.
I'm like, this is like Georgie vodka, because it's the grizzly pear.
Yeah.
And it's...
And that is top shelf at the, at the old GP.
So I have to throw up in my hair, and
G and GP stands for Georgie.
Yeah.
The Georgie pear.
Yeah. So I'm like, then like the I don't know if he's the owner or the manager, what the deal is. But he's like an Irish guy that's always there behind the bar. He's like, oh my God, come back here. So I go to the thing, and he's like wetting a rag, and we're cleaning out throw up out of my hair.
You're fucking cleaning yourself.
Mind you, I have not gotten on stage yet. And then I'm like, at no point throughout this whole thing am I like, I can't. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going on that stage. And I'm going to run the light, okay?
Yeah, this is my show now.
Yeah. And then I didn't. I just respected the light, because I'm just a pushover, make no mistake. No, that crowd was...
awful.
Hard. So then I get up on stage, and I'm like, I make a joke about it. It actually goes off well. How I'm like, it was such a good hair day that I was just going to dry shampoo my hair. I didn't even care.
Yeah.
And it was funny. It went over well. And then I start doing my jokes, and it's fine. And there's a group of, my mistake was that I went into the crowd, and I asked who was from New York. And unfortunately, these group of 21-year-olds were from New York. They're from Queens.
21, that's the worst
Then
age.
I asked them like how they liked the pandemic. Like, we hated it. We were in high school. And I was like, shut up. You know, that's immediately where, and like, wait, just 21. I'm like, yeah, it's giving.
Yeah, 21-year-olds, I know they're allowed to drink, but they still shouldn't be allowed at comedy shows.
No. 21-year-olds should be allowed to drink in their own establishments. We're only around other 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around you.
Yeah, separate but equal.
And I also understand, because I was there, and I probably was just as annoying.
Yeah.
So they're just like, and I just was getting heckled. Yeah. Like, they just wouldn't shut up. Then I was also getting whistled at by men in the back of the room. And then I'm like, am I being whistled at? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, stop doing that. Yeah. At first I was on stage, and it was so hot in there. I thought it was having like a heat stroke.
Yeah.
So I literally...
You thought it was your brain whistling.
No, I'm not...
You thought you were hearing your ears
I'm not even making a joke that I literally said, am I having a stroke, or am I hearing a whistle? Like, because make no mistake, I have passed out before, so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't having... I'm like, am I hearing... It was my ear. Because when I was passing out, it is like a movie where you hear like, it gets like a really high-pitched noise. Yes. And like, you're not hearing anything. And I started hearing whistles, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to pass out on this stage. So I actually had to ask the audience 100% genuinely. I'm like, is somebody whistling at me, or am I having a stroke? And
is there a doctor on board?
Yeah, and the guy was like, yeah, whistling. I'm like, stop doing that. I was so mad.
Stop it. My pussy's too wet. So please stop.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm wearing sweatpants.
My worst nightmare. I saw the light, and I was like, that's my time, guys. Get me off of this stage.
Because usually when you see, so what happens at comedy clubs, I don't know, I'm sure you guys know if you don't, how we signal each other that we're running out of time is a big red light usually will go on somewhere in the back of the room.
Unless you're the upstairs room at the stand, and they can't afford you just to light on your phone.
Yeah, just got to light on your phone and open the door that everybody's looking at. It's actually
just ruin the show, actually.
Yeah, the light at the stand is when you feel a huge stop in momentum.
Yeah,
you got 2 minutes left.
You got the light.
Yeah, when you flash the light, there's a red light usually somewhere in the back of the room. When the red light comes on, the comic season lets them know they got 2 minutes. And if it's a bad show, sometimes you get lit and you just get the fuck out of there immediately.
Guys, I'm Samantha Santos. That was you guys were amazing. I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's just oh my God, guys, I would be here.
It's gonna be in my suicide note.
Yeah, so that's a rough fucking. You had a rough show.
It was a rough day, but I do want to also highlight, because I am on the spirit of being positive.
Yes.
I do want to highlight that it has been an amazing, actually, like 2 weeks for me. I was featured on the New Yorker's page, and my page did really well.
That's yellow?
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to my baby New Yorkers.
I was also featured on Secrets New York.
Yeah, 1.8 million followers on that thing.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of followers from that.
Yep, up from 14 to 16,000.
Yeah. So I'm happy about that, and I also feel like for what it's worth, if you're a long time watcher, you know that the comments really piss me off.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of being in a new, turning over a new leaf, I barely read the comments, but for it, like the ones that I saw were actually fine.
Yeah.
Like there were a couple annoying ones on secrets, but to be honest, New Yorker's page usually has
notorious
the worst comments, and I think I got 2. Yeah. Bad comments, and everything else was just beautiful. Secrets had a couple more that were annoying, but the best one was somebody who was like, "Hey, I saw her at the stand, good stuff," and I was like, "Hey, I love that." So that was the only comment that I responded to because I'm just a positive kid. You're just not gonna hear anything negative about anything on this podcast, but I will be hearing them in my head.
Yeah. The voices in your head, the only voices that you guys will hear are positive ones. If you want to hear the negative ones, go to www.patreon.com/softlaunch. We'll actually be honest.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We are in a new journey.
But we will. You know what we should do behind the Patreon? We should clap back at your comments and talk about them on the Patreon. Maybe that'll be a fun thing to do. Because the comments in New York Instagram pages are the worst.
They are.
If you want to be annoyed,
usually
post any content that has to do with anything New York related and just wait. All right? I think that's the thing that we should do behind the Patreon anyways, like float those little ideas that we have, because you're going to hear a lot about what we have to say about those comments very, very soon.
Yes.
But yeah, Samantha had a rough Saturday. You got thrown up on, and then the show that you went there that you got thrown up on to get thrown up on was trash. The audience was awful. And then honestly, when I met up with you later that night, like after all of that happened, you seemed in a really positive mood, but make no mistake, it was just an extremely delayed reaction.
Yeah, I was just having.
We took about 400 paces from the grizzly pear, and then it all came out.
No, literally, I think it just didn't hit me what had happened, because even like Jody came out of the room and he's talking to me and he's like, "Your hair's wet," and I'm like, "Yeah, I just got thrown up on," and I'm like, as I'm saying it, I'm smiling, and he's like, "Yo, this says a lot about your character, because he's like, I would be swinging on somebody, and you're just sitting here," and I was like, "Ah, what are you gonna do?" And then I just got out of the McDougal area, and then real life set in, and I was like, I just got vomited on, and then I just got heckled by 21-year-olds. JC was at another show and got to the show, and he just heard me from the thing, literally on stage, shut the fuck up. That's what I was literally yelling, because they were asking me questions as I'm doing, like about me. "Oh, where do you live? What do you do?" I'm like, are you fucking out of your mind? It was insane.
Hecklers are mad annoying. Those are the worst kind, because they're trying to be positive and they think they're helping. I've met a million. But it's because a lot of younger people, the only experience with stand-up they have is TikTok. It's a lot of crowd work, because that's what we post, because the thought behind posting crowd work clip is that you're not burning your material, because we don't do new jokes every single night for the most part. We have an act that we're working on. And if
contrary to what people think, we don't go out there and just start talking.
It is crazy to hear what people think stand-up is versus now learning what it actually is. They're crafted jokes. These are routines. These are acts that we've crafted over like years now. So when you hear, we're not coming up with things off the top of our head. But what is happening real in the moment is crowd work, because you can't plan a crowd interaction. So a lot of that is what you see on Instagram, because posting that is a good way to get people to come to your page without you having to do jokes that you rely on in your act. Because comedy, usually for the most part, it works so well because of a surprise factor. Misdirect is our biggest weapon, and when you don't know what's coming, you're gonna laugh the hardest, as opposed to when you know what's coming.
Exactly. That's why what bigger comics at their shows, that your phone will go in a case and you can't record it, because
they don't want anybody to see it.
If you've seen the joke before, it's just not funny. And it's the same way like with a movie preview, when the jokes that are in the trailer, like, they're funny when you watch them, but you're like, you knew it was coming.
They're designed to make you interested in the whole project, which is what essentially crowd work clips are.
Exactly. So
that being said, that's what you see a lot on the internet, but that's not how shows always go. But sometimes people with that perception of comedy will just be like, "Oh, I shout shit out," and they make jokes about it. Like, that's not how it works.
That's just not how it works.
Especially that's how young people think it works.
But the biggest pop, make no mistake, the biggest pop I got on the show was when I told them to shut the fuck up. Because the rest of they must have been, I was in there for the comic before me, her set, and they were yelling at her too, and she was ignoring them. So the crowd was annoyed. So when I told them to shut the fuck up, people started clapping, and it was like, the biggest pop I had, and I had no joke behind it. I just was so mad. I was shaking because I wanted to literally punch them. I had no joke there. Something I need to work on is when I get like upset,
you need to keep the funny.
I need to keep the funny, because I get where I'm just like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight you after the show."
You get too mad.
I start shaking because I'm like, I'll ruin my career. Like I don't get mad like easily, but when I get mad, it doesn't gradually happen. It goes from me being extremely calm to me, now I want to physically assault you.
Yeah.
So there's no in between.
Yeah, you got to find...
It is actually scary.
It is hard, because it's hard to not take it personally in the moment when it's happening, when people are yelling, because they're yelling at you and you're doing your art. But I think that just comes with time. You have to be in that situation a million times, and the million first is when you're going to figure out how to use that anger to shit on this person in a way that unites the crowd and makes it funny, and people will be able to recognize that. But that's fucking... it happens to me sometimes. When that shit happened to me at the stand the other night, like, the crowd wasn't bad, but they were too hyped. Like,
I hate
just
that.
like they introduced me, I said, "Welcome to the show," and whoa, like, I kept doing it well after it was appropriate, and I just had to stop and okay. And it wasn't funny. The crowd laughed, but it wasn't like there was no joke there. It's like you got to figure out how to do that.
I do. That's hard, what I need to work on. Like, not letting my emotions.
Yeah.
I have to stay like silly and loose and not take it so personally. But it really does make you want to hit somebody.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, it was a rough
and then
night.
I was already upset because I'm like, damn it, I got thrown up on and it didn't happen to me while I was on stage, so I can go viral and this can actually just happen for no reason. Yeah. But I did capitalize off it. I got the most views on my story I've had in fucking months.
Yeah. What we need for you to do now...
Got a couple thousand.
That's crazy. What we need for you to do now is let a homeless person come and spit in your mouth and then see if you really take off.
No, I was going to invite you guys to come to the show and just punch me in the face on stage. I got to get famous.
Yeah, it's just what it is. We got to live how we live. But it was a rough Saturday for the Sam Cam.
Yeah, but it was also a very positive week because I was reposting and I had a great social media week.
It was a rare low in what has been a very positive time in your life.
Yes.
And you also started your new job.
Started my new job. It's been great. I love it. I don't really care to talk about it because it is still work.
That's how you know it's a healthy situation.
Yeah, don't even care to talk about it. Nothing even fun. I'm not going to tell you like, oh, it's actually it's really great. And I don't care. I mean, it's really good, and I'm happy to be working from home 3 days a week.
I love it, and I'm actually a little triggered because I lost my job, and I actually think it's kind of fucked up because you're just so happy in my face, but it's whatever. I've always been the more empathetic partner.
Yeah.
And then one thing
watch your mouth or you won't get fed.
One thing about me and one thing about we, honestly, we've had a great week. It's been an eventful week. We celebrated Valentine's Day this week.
Ooh, that's right.
We had a really nice little Valentine's Day.
Flowers.
Yes, I did. I bought Samantha some flowers. I said I wasn't going to.
There's 2 bouquets. There's another one in there.
Yeah, because make no mistake, I bought 3.
You
bought
bought
3 sets of flowers because I just didn't know what you'd like. Your favorite flowers are sunflower. They didn't have any. I'm like, let me just fucking pick colors.
Yeah.
And but when I went, it was Valentine's Day, and it's a fucking mad rush to get flowers. Yeah. I went to Trader Joe's, and it was more packed than I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
But because they don't raise their prices, it was really good. But it was absolutely freezing that day.
That day was unbearable.
And with the way I get to Trader Joe's when I don't go to Samantha, when we go together, we walk. But I want to be on a city bike because I want to be done as quickly as possible. But I had mad groceries. I had a backpack full of groceries, a duffel bag full of groceries, and an actual physical brown paper bag. So I've done it before where I've just put the paper bag on the handle and rode home. So that's what I was trying to do. And the flowers were in the paper bag. And before I got to the e-bike to ride back home, the bag broke. So I'm like freaking the fuck out. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to carry these things home. And then I had to like prop the flowers in the pockets of my backpack and ride home, which was a fucking nightmare because it was maybe the coldest day of the year with a fucking ridiculous wind chill, and just I can see as I'm riding petals flying off the flowers. I'm like, Samantha's gonna hate me. Thank God I bought 3 flowers. And then when I parked the thing to go home, because we've been feeling like negative, and Valentine's Day for me, I was super negative.
You were super negative because they released the Netflix is a joke, like who got Netflix is a joke.
Yeah, everybody who got Netflix is a joke was getting released, and I was just feeling a type of way. I didn't even fucking audition, so I was feeling upset about that. And so I go to park the city bike to come give you everything, and as I park the city bike, my strap for my duffel bag goes where you're supposed to dock it and gets caught in the thing. Right?
You didn't even tell me this.
I know, because it gets caught in the thing, and it doesn't let me lock it. Like, it goes from red and it stays red, but it doesn't let me take the bike out. So now it's just red. The ride is still going. The bike is locked, but I can't move it. So now I'm just on this thing. The fucking heaviest duffel bag of all time with all the groceries and all the flowers is stuck, and I'm just screaming on Market Slip.
God.
I'm like, give me a fucking... I started yelling at God. I was like, give me a fucking break, God. I'm trying to do a nice thing.
I love that you didn't even tell me that.
Bruh, I was outside screaming in broad daylight, and it happened. I couldn't figure out how to I was like, my groceries are gonna be here forever. And it took me like 8 minutes to figure out how to get everything out, and it was a fucking nightmare. And then I came up and gave Samantha her flowers, and half of them were dead because of the wind, but these ones still made it.
Yeah, and then you came home and I was like, oh my God, you got me so many flowers. I wasn't even...
I was fucking fuming that day.
Yeah.
But then we ended up having a nice day. It was nice. It was productive. We saw American Fiction.
Which is great. Highly recommend it.
Shout out to Cab Washington.
Yes, he did a fantastic
who fucking killed
job.
it, a.k.a. Jeffrey Wright. But American Fiction was hysterical.
So good.
And I love watching movies now because I feel like now that I'm an artist and living my artistic truth, I feel like I appreciate other artistic things in a different
me too.
way. And
it's
actually,
so different.
Yeah, it's you appreciate it differently, and I want to make a point to like do more, like go to concerts and stuff like that. Because it is fun to see people live their art.
It is really fun. I loved it.
There's a different appreciation.
And what my favorite part about going to the movies was JC's like, I'm gonna bring this popcorn. Like we get the popcorn from Trader Joe's. If you don't know, now you know. Get the movie theater popcorn from Trader Joe's. It's unbelievable.
Got 2 bags.
2 bags. So we were like, yeah, we'll bring this thing. So he just put it in his bag, and I just had a recollection of going to that movie theater and them checking bags. And JC's like, what are we going to an airport? I'm like, I don't know. Just let me put it in my coat.
Yo, because I do AMC all the time, and they never check bags anymore. But Samantha was like, yo, I have a really bad feeling.
Yeah, I had such a gut feeling. And I think they've done that to me before. So we scan our tickets, and then it's like she was almost about to let us walk away.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me check your bag. And I had the popcorn in my coat last minute, literally right across the street.
While we were walking into the movie theater, she's like, let me put the popcorn, act like I'm pregnant, because they're going to check their bag. I'm like, they're not going to check the bag. She's like, give me the fucking popcorn. Yeah. And then we got to a fight. No, we didn't.
It was fine.
But yeah.
I put it in my stomach, and I had to like push out this way. Otherwise it was going to like fall, because my coat's it's like a loose coat.
Otherwise your water was going to break.
Yeah, so I'm just like standing like this with this big ass belly, and this woman definitely looked at my belly, like she definitely was probably like, "Aw."
Yeah.
And then
Valentine's Day, pregnant lady.
And then we go and into concessions. Even though we're bringing the popcorn, make no mistake, I gotta get my nachos in at the movie theater. And then they had Doritos with nacho cheese. Yeah. So I was getting that, and then I'm like, literally acting like a pregnant woman, but not on purpose. I'm like, oh my, because the guy was like Tostitos or Doritos, and I was like Tostitos because that's the normal one. And then as I'm saying, I'm like, did you say Doritos? And he's like, yeah. I'm like,
she had a real life pregnancy craving.
Yeah, and I was like, no, give me those Doritos immediately. And then I was like, oh my god, with cheese. And then he's like, those pregnancy cravings, and I'm like,
yeah. Make no mistake, Samantha's biological clock is actually ticking, and it took maybe 6 minutes of her acting like a fake pregnant person with store-bought popcorn being snuck into a movie theater to actually give her body faux pregnancy cravings.
Yeah, literally. I started
Not
nesting.
even a joke.
I'm like, I gotta go home and paint.
Yeah, she wanted to redecorate the whole apartment. Her hormones were all over the fucking place.
Yeah, we started to fight, started crying.
Yeah, but yeah, it was, we got the popcorn in. Had a great movie experience.
Yeah, we sat in the wheelchair accessible seats, even though we didn't pay for that seat.
Yeah, because we're handy, no cap.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, this applies to us.
Yeah, and we sat there, I was like, these are great seats. And we looked up, we made sure there was no one sitting there, and we sat there. It was great. The movie was so good. And then we found a restaurant.
Yep, shout out to Milas in the Lower East Side.
Yeah.
Had a good little dinner. I had some duck confit.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking French kid.
Yeah.
And I'm fancy pantsy.
Yeah, he's got a good palate.
Yeah, I got a good palate. And I had a Negroni, which, make no mistake, was disgusting.
It was absolutely gross.
Absolutely horrendous, but I'm a stubborn kid, so I just acted like it was delicious. And I told Samantha, I'll order another one for no reason.
Yeah, no, he goes, because I tasted it and I almost gagged. I'm like, what the fuck is it? It was so disgusting. And then he's at the end of it, he's like, actually, at the end, it was really great. I'm like, don't fucking lie. It tasted like Robitussin.
Yeah, because one thing about me, I'm very open. I'm not tied to masculinity, but I am a man.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm gonna do some man shit from time to time.
Stupid.
So I'm gonna act like a disgusting alcoholic beverage is actually delicious when you kind of think about it.
Yeah, and I just got a Stella.
Yeah,
and it was so good.
Yeah, and we had a great Valentine's Day.
It was such a good Valentine's Day. Amazing.
Came home, cuddled, and we watched. What did we watch? Watch Traders?
No, that was Wednesday. We watched
Miami.
No.
What do we watch?
I don't know.
Vanderpump.
Oh, is that what we watched?
Yeah, we Vanderpumped it up.
Jesus Christmas.
Don't you know? Pumped it up. We Vanderpumped it up. That's what we did. And we did that. So we had a very nice Valentine's Day. We took the day off of shows. It was very nice, very relaxing. And then what else did we do this weekend? We went to...
we were very active this weekend.
Yeah, we were super active. We had shows on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
What did we do Friday? What shows
Friday? Friday, I didn't have anything.
Oh, shit.
Friday didn't have anything. Thanks for bringing it up.
Sorry.
And JC just had 600
No,
shows.
I think I had 3.
Three.
Shut up. And then, so...
How are they? Who cares? Nobody asked.
They were fine. Nothing to write home about.
Then don't talk about it then.
All right, motherfucking.
Just kept joking.
Yo, well, if you want to talk about your job, let me talk about the only one that I have. So we went to an R&B party with our homies because my man Armani was in town. It was Sherilyn's birthday. Shout out to Sherilyn. It's her birthday this weekend.
And clap it up.
Clap it up for Shadow. And we went to the R&B party in Midtown. We had a fucking great time. It was a blast.
When we got in.
Yeah. Which was at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We were on our way there, and Samantha was the one who pushed for us to go because I was like, I'm not going to be done with shows until 1. We're not going to get there till like 1:45.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, an R&B party. Let's do it. And then as we were on the train, I looked at the clock, like the time of the thing. I was like, what the fuck was it? Then it was snowing.
Yeah. So Samantha, I think, made the mistake of thinking that R&B stood for rest in bed.
Yeah.
Because that's how late we were out. I don't know how we're out now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
then
it
started actually snowing for real.
No. It was like accumulating on the floor. It was insane.
Yeah.
Then we get there and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a great time. We like walk in and your friends are walking in at the same time.
Yeah,
fun.
perfect timing.
We walk in there and I didn't realize that it was at JFK Airport.
Yeah.
And I was apparently a fucking terrorist.
Yeah.
They like go through my bag and then I had my
a little pre-roll
that I had just bought that day and like, you can't bring this in. And I'm like, okay, well, take my lighters then, and I just
so
I won't light it.
Smoke it.
And they're like, nah. And I'm like, well, I just bought this.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you can't go in. And she's just holding it like a police officer. I wanted to punch her in the face.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, then I literally thought about standing my ground.
Yeah.
And being like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
We didn't because we just fucking took like 40 minutes to get there.
I was so
walked 3
mad
or 4 avenues.
I was like, I am 36 years old, and I'm like, it's. Going to a club is so humiliating because it's like the people that work there are have this fucking
power complex.
Oh my God, it's so irritating. So she's like holding it like bitch, you don't work for the TSA.
Yeah, if you work security, unfortunately, you are a loser.
You're a loser.
You're a loser, and
nobody likes you.
Nobody respects you.
No one respects you. You're a piece of shit.
Unless you're that one bouncer at the Grizzly Pear whose name I don't know.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
the fucking
but
man.
he's really great. He's really great. Yeah.
Everybody else, you're kind of a loser.
Including the other security guard at the Grizzly Pear who pretends he's never seen me a day in his life.
Yeah. He's a loser.
He's a loser. But yeah, so then I like made it stick like I wasn't gonna go in, and then we went in, and then it was just so annoying because it was like the fucking line for the
coat check.
For the coat check was annoying, and then it's like you had to go in and they check your arm. And then let's
go!
Move it! I'm like, why are we acting like we're at we're in line for security at the airport? Relax. This is an R&B party. We're waiting online and they're playing like I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. I'm like, everybody relax.
Yo, they were playing Vanessa Carlton when we got there. They were literally just having a fun time.
Yeah.
But this is just the club scene is dead.
Oh my God.
If you're over 24, you probably shouldn't be in the club anymore. You shouldn't
be in the club.
Because it's just a ridiculous place to be. There's lines everywhere. Everything costs money. It's so annoying. Bouncers are fucking losers.
Oh my God.
It's a horrible place to be, but we got in there.
Yeah,
all our friends were there. We had a great time. We sang, we danced. We actually got recognized from our pod a couple times.
Yes, we did.
We're very popular people. We're very illustrious people. We had a great time. We had one girl that told us that she sees our clips and she loves us.
Yeah.
And then we had another girl just talk her ear off about how she was funny too.
Yeah.
And thanks for saying something, but fucking if you're gonna give us a compliment, don't make it about you.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing ever is when people come up to us and they're like, "You're so funny." All my friends tell me I should do comedy.
It's like, dude, what are you, a straight white man?
Like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Cool.
Obviously not that funny if you're not doing anything with it.
Yeah. And it's also like, and this interaction, it's not giving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to be a really sick person to be giving somebody a compliment and still make yourself the main character.
Yeah. And then she couldn't help herself because after that, then the other person's talking to us about like listening to our pod.
Yeah.
And she was fantastic.
Yeah, awesome.
Like she was great. What a good, I'm like stuck here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what a good interaction that was. And then, that girl came back.
It's like, no, I already told them.
I already told them. And she's like, okay, great. I'm going to tell them too.
Yeah, bitch, we actually like this one.
Yeah. I'm like, don't try to stop people from giving us compliments.
Yeah.
I was sad that she just stood there like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, please. I mean, if you listen,
she kept being, I'm funny too. Like, bitch, what do you think? Do you want us to invite you on?
Yeah, not going to happen.
You want a cookie? Go do something. That's great. I'm glad you are. Then go do something. Because honestly, anytime you're explaining to somebody you're funny or you feel the need that you have to, it's because you're either not doing what you're supposed to be doing or you're not funny. You know what I'm saying? Because funny is not a thing that you have to tell people you are.
It's just a weird thing. When you meet people and you're like, it's just a weird thing to do.
Well, it was nice though. It was a woman doing it, which is kind of progress in a way because usually that's a thing.
Yeah, it's usually a thing guys
exclusively reserved for men who almost always after a show, they'll tell me how funny they thought I was and they'll be like, yo, I'm thinking about doing it. It's like, man, I don't want want anybody to watch me and be like, damn, I could do this too. That doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel good because I'm doing high fucking science. Do you think anybody could just ask, oh, how long have you been dating? No, there's a science to it. I'm being artsy fartsy. It takes a lot of work to get here. Yeah. I hate when people tell me, man, you make me feel like I could do this. I'm like, that's not what I want to. I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to watch me and be like, I could never, because it's so different.
No, I think it is a nice thing because I think that they think you're coming up with stuff on the spot and you're making it look natural, which I think is important because sometimes there are some people that get on stage and they're very like, here's my first joke, here's my second joke, here's my third joke, kind of thing. Like they're not saying it, but you could tell like it's not you could tell it's not natural.
It's not natural. It
is cool like that it feels like to them that you're just coming up with it. So you make it feel like, oh, this is conversation. I'm funny in conversation. Yeah. Then they try it and then they stink.
On my rank of things that I hate to hear, that's number one. The only thing that competes with it is that you should put that in your little skits.
Oh my God, I hate that.
That's the only thing that I hate more. I hate when people tell me that I make them feel like they could do it too.
Oh my God. I hate when people come up to me and they try to give me a compliment and they go, yeah, I mean, because most women aren't that funny.
Oh, like, that's crazy.
I want to break your neck.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why. Why even say that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They think they're being sweet.
Yeah, I don't know how they think that, but
that's what it is.
That is it. So we did R&B party. That was really fun.
That was cool. What else? Oh, it was my nephew's birthday. It's my nephew's birthday this week, but we celebrated his birthday on Saturday. We
and he is the cutest.
Up for KJ as well. Just a cutie patootie. We had a great time.
He's
out there.
So cute.
Went out there on the island. Had a good rode the LIII. Had a good time out there. We spent some time with my family. We saw my mom, who looks fucking hot now.
Yeah, she looks great.
I think that's weird for me to say. Not hot but she looks fucking like she's been working out. She's doing well.
She looks so good. She's been working out, and it shows.
Yeah. She's doing great. And we also saw my pop, a fan favorite here on the podcast. Yes. If you want to see him on, fuck it, comment it, because we do better when our comments are popping. And if you guys just want to tell us how much you want to see my dad, do it. He'll be here eventually. Just keep commenting. Won't forget it.
Yeah. And
you know what I think makes me feel like I want to put my dad on the pod? Whenever we get a patron, I really feel like I want to put my dad on the pod. So if you guys really want to see Big Julio on the podcast, go over to www.patreon.com/softlunch and just show us with your money.
Show us with your money. Or if you don't want to go and join the Patreon, I understand. You could just Venmo us quick $20,000.
Quick $20,000, because I would like to hear your arguments to see my dad on the pod. But you know who could really convince me? Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah,
little five ski right in the Patreezy. So go to that, and Dad, if you're listening to this, we love you. Send us an emoji of spaghetti, because after we went to the party for my nephew KJ, we had some Italian food with my dad and his fiance Maria, and it was just a nice little
day. A great party. I had a great time. I think my favorite thing was that JC's parents, who are no longer together, just showed up in 2 vests from their own company.
Yeah. Just
from the companies that they work for. They both were like, I noticed it because you commented, you told your dad like, oh, that's a nice vest. That's from work. He's like, yeah. Then I turn around and look at his mom, and she's in a vest with her company on it too. On a Saturday.
Yeah, it's just what it is. It's just the way that life works. And my parents are very funny people. My parents are very funny people. My mom is hilarious. She's very funny. My dad is funny more than what he says. It's the way he lives his life makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Because my dad's the only guy that I've ever met to live his life, bet it all on a Puerto Rican woman, lose half of everything, and be like, you know what? Hit me again.
Yeah.
Let's run it back. Because his fiance now, Maria, she's hilarious. She's great. She's wonderful. I love her. And her and my mom get along swimmingly just because they're compatible.
Yeah.
Both Puerto Rican kids from New York City. My dad has a type, and he'll fucking he'll ride around, he'll spend it just to fucking live his life.
One thing about the Mendoza guys is they like a Puerto Rican woman.
It's just what it is. Because his brother, who he doesn't even get along with, Puerto Rican woman.
Yeah, which is what it is. You get it.
I get it. I fucking know the vibes. I'm not gonna blame you.
Maria's only a half C too, like me.
It's just what it is.
Mendoza guy's like a half C guy.
My dad is just trying to dilute it a little bit. He's like, first one's fucking crazy. And then
put a European in there.
Just put a little Spanish in there. But then now Maria lives in the Bronx. She's still fucking crazy too. It's just what it is.
Just what it is. Honestly, if you're anything else, if you're Puerto Rican and anything else, and you live in the Bronx, you're just Puerto Rican.
Yeah, it's just what it is. And honestly, that I have Puerto Rican, it fucking puts up a fight in your genetics.
It's also very funny to me because it's like Shadi Diaz. Shout out to Shadi Diaz. She'll be like, oh, I'm from Guatemala.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, babe, you're Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
you're from the Bronx. You're just Puerto Rican kid.
It's just what it is. That fucking sazon rises very fast in the bloodstream.
She's like, she tries to tell everybody, I'm like, enough.
Yeah.
You're a Puerto Rican kid. It's just what it is.
You've been claimed.
Yeah. Shadi Diaz, like Prince, you are Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Shadi Diaz, Prince, and Alicia Keys are Puerto Rican.
Literally, Alicia Keys, you couldn't tell me anything. Everyone's like, she's half black, half white. I'm like, no, she's not. This girl, she looks like she could be my cousin.
It's just what it is.
Yeah.
So we had a great Saturday with my family. It was a lot of fun. What else did we do? And then yesterday we had a show up in Washington Heights.
Yes. But
Perreo saved my life.
Yeah.
My man Brendan Zambrano booked us. A lot of fun there.
Yeah, really fun.
It was a good time. I love doing those rooms, those uptown rooms. I don't get to do them enough.
Yeah.
It's fun to perform for our people, like Latino people. And honestly, credit to the people who came to see the show, showed up on time. It was the fucking producers that were running late. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was, honestly ended up being really great. I had no expectations for it. I had no idea how it was going to go, because when there's an independent show and it's run by comics that are just starting out, I mean, it can go
any which way.
You have no idea how it's going to go.
Because a lot of people, and I was guilty of this too, when you think about stand-up comedy, you just think about going there, sitting down and watching people tell jokes. But there's so many things that we have learned that like have to happen for a show to be good, successful. That if you don't do these very little things, a show feels like a nonsense factory. Yeah. And that's what happens when new comics are throwing shows. So things that are important, like you have to host it properly. Yeah. You have to start it on time. Mm-hmm. You have to let the audience know what's happening, when it's happening. When the show's going to start in 10 minutes, you let them know. When it's going to start in 5 minutes, you let them know. You got to make sure the DJ's tapped in. He knows what's going on. And, you know, a lot of those things that fall by the wayside, you got to let the people at the bar know, because if they're too loud, it ruins the show. Yeah. You know, you got to do a sound check. There's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things that go on. And I also, I know, you know, we both host, and I think we take it more seriously than a lot of other comics, but there is an art to hosting. It's not just like saying like, hey guys, this is the show and you'll see me in between. It's a host sets the tone. Yeah. And if you don't do that, you're relying on the first comic to do that. And the thing about them is that their first comic stunk it up. Yeah. So it's just, you couldn't, the hosts were up there for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. And they tried to talk to somebody and he wasn't with it. And then they just were like, all right guys, we're going to start the show. And it was like, no.
Yeah. So, because the thing is, even if you host the show well, it's still going to be difficult for the first comic. That spot is called the bullet spot. The first comic that goes, you have the host, and then the first comic the host brings up, it's called the bullet spot, because they're usually taking the bullet because they're getting the worst version of the crowd besides the host who's there to fucking tap dance. Yeah. Right? But you gotta give yourself and the show a chance. And the way you do that, because these kids, good kids, they're hopefully going to be here for a long time. But like small things, just like the way you introduce somebody. If you're not aware, the way you introduce somebody, you say all the things about them first, and the last thing that the audience should hear before they come on the stage is their name. Yeah. All right? So that one, like the kid, he's a funny kid, good kid, but he would say the name and then the things about him, and then the crowd would be listening and they'd be like, all right, so clap it up. Why you're not clapping? It's like, motherfucker. Yeah. You gotta cue us up to win.
And it was like super, it's like, she has but next person I'm gonna bring up is Samantha Santos. She has a podcast called Santos. She's really funny. You guys, I think you're gonna like her.
So clap it up for Samantha.
He's like, why didn't you guys? And then he's looking at me like, I'm like, when do you want me to go on?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're still talking.
There's a very small social cues that have to happen at comedy shows, and we're just gonna ring off a couple of them. So if anybody's listening to this and you're thinking about starting comedy, because for whatever reason we attract a lot of those people on this podcast, if you're thinking about starting comedy, the way you host a show is you have to explain exactly what's gonna happen, because a lot of times, and I'm getting all this from Kenny DeForest, rest in peace, one of the greatest hosts in New York City. He get a play-by-play. It's so many people's first time coming to a show, and so many people don't know how it works. So you'd be like, hey, this is my name, I'm the host, I'm gonna be up and down with you all night, bringing the acts to the stage, they're gonna entertain you, I'm gonna get to know you guys, I'm gonna tell you some jokes, and then we're gonna get this show started. Yeah. You gotta let them know verbatim. When you see me, go to the bathroom, you can do whatever you want, but when the comics are on stage, give them your undivided attention. These little things that seem like they're understood, you gotta let the audience know, because for what it's at, they're kind of on the spectrum, the audience, not because they're bad people, but they just don't know the social cues yet, and you have to teach them.
Yes, and I've also been an audience member, and you get nervous to go to a show because you don't want to stand out. So some people, like, they don't know, should I clap, should I laugh now? Like, I don't want to bring attention to myself, so they hold back. So as a host, it's your job to let people know, like, no, we need
Make
that
noise.
So I think something that I learned from you is like, when you're talking to somebody and ask them a question. Guys, clap it up for this person.
Clap it up for that. Get them
you want
started
people
early.
to get like warm and comfy with like making noise in the room, not so much talking.
Conditioning them to clap and make noise and be comfortable being loud.
Yes, exactly. It's so important. And like, I also, the same thing you say, like, God, I have the pleasure of bringing up some of the best comedians in this room, but first we're going to get to know each other a little bit. Then I'm going to tell some jokes, we're going to get this thing started. And then, like in Kenny, the thing that you sent me from Kenny is like, he would ask the audience, like, hey, whose first time is it at a comedy show? And he said, you'd be surprised
how many people.
So they don't know. And then sometimes you have to tell people like, comedians are going to tell jokes, guys. This is all jokes. So don't be weird about stuff. If you don't like something, that's cool. You don't have to like everything, but you also don't need to make it known that you didn't like it. And if you like something, make noise, make a sound. Like we do, we
our
really
best work. It's an energy exchange.
Yeah, and that's
the energy you give us is the energy that we.
I took that literally verbatim. I literally tell people, I'm like,
Same thing.
guys,
I can't remember who I heard it for, but I took that too.
Yeah. I literally, that's what you tell the audience, like, guys, the energy you give these comics are gonna give right back to you. So let me hear how loud you guys can get. Clap it up.
All these things are very important. So you want to do these things, you want to do them well, but not too well, because if you do too well, you're gonna get put in a box, and everybody's gonna only want you to host, and you're just gonna live the life that I live, and you're gonna miss the Netflix audition and the Just for Laughs audition because everybody only books you to host. You're gonna want to fucking die.
Yeah. So that's gonna just segue into the next part of that, and it's that we decided to meditate because we have been feeling ultra negative. I felt so heavy negative in my spirit, like I wasn't wishing people well, and I just didn't feel good, and
I wasn't happy for anybody because make no mistake, we are surrounded by people doing very well.
Yes.
And that we interact with regularly.
Yeah, and it was I was becoming really negative, and that's not a emotion that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And I don't like to feel that way, and we're human beings, so we always have negative. We'll always have negative feelings, but I was feeling like I was saying way more negative than positives.
Yep.
So we clocked it. And we had mentioned, but like the day when I was coming home with throw up in my hair, and then I was like, I want to just tomorrow like take some time to like meditate, and we did. We like took time. We
set intentions. We burned. We wrote down all the things we want to let go of.
Burned them. We set the alarm off in the house.
Yeah, we did.
Make no mistake, we have black lung, but we do feel lighter. Yeah,
it's true, man. Because being negative, dog, it's so easy to fall in that pattern.
Yeah, and we were enabling each other too, because we were both feeling negative at the same time. So it's like, yeah, like hyping each other up, and it was just not
bad. You know what? I'm realizing it now, and I've been saying it because even though like I'm not working now, but even when I was working from home and then going out to shows, like my work day is very light.
Yeah,
everything's very light. I have a very healthy work life. I had a very healthy work life balance, and when I would go out, I would feel exhausted. It's because being hateful is physically tiring.
It is. It does.
There's an actual physical toll that being hateful and negative takes on you.
100%.
And like you can't, because you're not being light. There's no levity. Everything is heavy.
It feels I literally felt it on my spirit. Like it was so bad. And then yesterday we like lit these candles and like literally burned what we want to let go of, and then we wrote down like what we want to let in, and we said them out loud to each other. And I literally felt like lighter, just like saying that out loud, like realizing. Because sometimes you have to name it. Like I knew I was being like, my hatred was being rooted in jealousy.
100%.
And I had to say it out loud. Same. And I feel so much better just being like, yeah, I'm a human being, and this is what it is. And I felt that way. It was a real feeling, but I don't want to sit in that. I don't want to live in that. I need to let that go.
Yeah.
Because nothing good is going to come to me if like. I was feeling like everything I was doing was like almost in spite of, like, oh yeah, you think you're good? Watch this. And it's like, I'm also in competition with nobody. They don't even know I'm in competition with them.
Dude.
So it just was like a negative space to be in, and I feel so much better. Yeah. Like I feel like I've been light. It's not to say like, I still feel a certain way about certain things, but I'm not letting it drive me or, letting it motivate me. I'm not putting any energy into it. And wow, what a difference in 24 hours.
Honestly, we feel great. And if you feel us getting negative, fucking call us out on it, because we're trying to be positive. That's what we're trying to do. One thing about me, that's what I project when I walk out into the scene. I'm a super positive guy. It's very easy for me to be fake. But when I come home, it's almost worse because I save it all for when I get home, and then it gets more negativity.
It just becomes, it's not a good thing. And I don't want to be that way. And, I also wanted to be motivated by people around me, and I was like saying yesterday, like I literally asked for this.
Yeah, I asked to be surrounded by positive people, and I asked to be surrounded by successful people that make me want to do better. But it's like, God, dial it back.
Yeah, I know. It's like, can I get a little success?
Can you success for me?
That's how it literally feels. But it's like, something that I was saying to you the other day is like, just because our success looks different doesn't mean we're in a completely different place than we were last year, and that's progress. That's success.
Yeah,
it's just we're not seeing like the monetary success or things like that, but it'll all come. And when it comes, it'll be great.
And the most important thing, and I feel like I've learned this in comedy, but I feel like it translates to every aspect of life. If you're looking around and you're seeing people get things that you want, but they're doing things that you don't want to do or that you don't agree with, it's not for you.
Yeah.
It's not for you like that. Like, you can't be mad at what other people are getting if they're doing something that you're not doing.
Yeah.
Not to say that you could be doing more, but if they're doing it different in a way that you don't like it, in a way that you're like, I wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't agree with my spirit. And then they get something that you want.
It's like, well,
what, you can't have it both ways, man.
Yeah.
If you want to carry yourself a certain way, behave a certain way, do certain types of work, and do what's right for you.
100%.
What comes of that is what comes of that. If you're watching somebody else who you don't agree with the way that they move, but they're getting things that you want, but you don't want to do them, then what are you upset at?
Yeah, salute to them. But
salute to them. Then there's no anger to be had because they're just doing it different.
Yeah, and I had a big moment this week where practice what you preach, because I would tell you that all the time, because there'd be people that he would see get things, and I was like, well, they're doing it different. And I've told you, do you want to do it that way? Then go about it that way. Mm-hmm. And this week I had to be like, I preach that, but I'm not practicing it, so I had to definitely do that. And it's important to remember, like, it's not a race, it's a marathon.
Yep, facts.
You know what I mean? And a marathon is a very personal thing. It's not usually. It's not about, like, you're not racing the person next to you, and it's
not a race. It's a marathon, and either way, whether it's a sprint or 26 miles, you're gonna lose to a Kenyan. That's just what's gonna happen. There's people in the world that are faster, and you could try your best, but just fucking give yourself a break. It's not gonna be. You're not gonna set the world on fire. It's just what it is. But we're trying our best. We're doing our best, and that's our big fat one thing about we. Had a lot going on, but we're excited to tell you guys about it. And we also got plenty of submissions. We got plenty of responses on the stories we put out. We always have a link up in our bio 100%. Where you can submit a question, a confession, or a topic for us to discuss. We got a bunch that we're going to discuss with you guys today, and without further ado, we're going to get to them in our favorite segment called That's What They Saying. And you want to go first?
Yeah, so I have just one. We put on our stories, and someone just wrote to me, Sam, I thought you had a baby. And I think she's just telling me that I'm getting thick, and I like it.
Yeah. Or she's got cameras in the house, and she knows what we've been dealing with, because make no mistake, we left it out of our one thing about we, but it's the biggest thing that fucking happened. Yeah. The Softies had a pregnancy scare.
We did.
And it was scary.
It was really scary. We are not. That's why I imagine, and I'm pregnant. I'm drinking a high noon. Woo! No. I have an IUD, make no mistake, but it does expire this month.
Yeah.
And I was feeling sick. Like the other day I got so fucking dizzy on the train. I was having like cramps. My boobs were swollen and hurting. I just was feeling nauseous. I had like cold sweats, and then I looked it up, and I looked up all of those things, and it was just like, hey bitch, you're pregnant. And I was like, what? Then I looked up like IUDs like expiring, and they were like, it could happen. I've also didn't read anything about someone who said they did.
Yeah.
But they say that you have to.
Yeah.
You have to get it removed, and I will in 30 days when my insurance kicks in, make no mistake. But, I didn't even think about it when we were having sex. So like, I'm like, I don't think it's like, like, hey, it's good. And then the day it's like, nope, not good anymore. I think there's no way.
It's funny. We were talking all this shit about bouncers, but your IUD is holding it down.
Yeah, it is.
Checking IDs, making sure nobody's bringing anything in. It's just what it is, man.
It is. But yeah, we got through it. We are not pregnant, but it was really scary. It was like scary with the moment I was like, when I like Googled it, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. And so Samantha was walking around the house, and one thing about Samantha, her favorite thing to do is Samantha wants to feel anxious. She wants to tell you she's feeling anxious, but upon questioning of, what's bringing the anxiety? I can't tell you.
It's not that.
I don't want to say it.
I just didn't want to because in my head I'm like, is this, I got a bit of trauma from my mother always telling me that I was being dramatic. So I never want to I want to try to rationalize it in my head.
But what ends up happening, not to cut you off, but you got to be cut off. What ends up happening is you don't want to be dramatic, and then you not being able to tell me is way more dramatic than telling me ever could be.
Well,
I can't tell you. I can't. So I'm happy we're sitting on the couch. I just got to rub her shoulder. I can't make eye contact with her. It's like trying to approach a fucking rare exotic bird. You have to come in, your head bowed, the food up, no eye contact. It's like fucking, you didn't watch Harry Potter, but when Harry's trying to make friends with Buckbeak, that's what it's like trying to get Samantha to tell her fucking anxiety what's the cause of it. So after about 35 minutes of that, I actually found, she didn't say it, I guessed it.
Yeah, he had to guess it.
I was like, oh, you're pregnant. And she was like, I think I might be. So I was like, oh, I'll go get a pregnancy test. And she was like, no, And I was like, why not?
I don't even remember that.
Wouldn't you feel better if we knew? She's like, no, I don't want it. Let's watch Traitors. So we sat down. So the one thing about Samantha and I, when there are big emotional stakes,
we just gonna watch TV.
There's big emotional things at stake. We're just gonna watch television for a little bit because the conversation that we had the day that we ended up figuring out where we're gonna be exclusive for real together, only with each other. Like we're gonna go for it.
Yeah,
we just watched Sister Act 2. Just what it was.
Yeah, back in the habit.
And that's just what it is. And
just wasn't
like,
I'm
pregnant after Traitors.
Yeah, please.
And then I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna go get the pregnancy test. Are you sure? I'm like, bitch, are you sure? Yes, go get it. What are you doing? She's just a funny kid. So I went and I got a couple pregnancy tests, and I got some 5 gum. Just because if that baby came, I wanted to have fresh breath.
Yeah.
And, she peed on that stick, and then it was just the longest 3 minutes of our lives.
Oh, my God. It was forever. And my favorite was, like, immediately when we were laying on the couch, and he was like, do you think you're pregnant? And I was like, yeah. And then immediately he's like, oh, my God. And then just starts rubbing my stomach. I was like, get off. I'm like, it could be literally just like, I don't know what. But I got my period today.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny because I know pregnancy scares got to be crazy for you, for the women having them. But for a guy experiencing a pregnancy scare, it's also a fucking trip because I'm just trying to read your body language and your tone because I don't want to suggest there's 2 options we have.
You're like, are we going to kill this thing or what?
You don't want to suggest the wrong one because we've never had that conversation. And it's like, I'm trying to guess if you're trying to fucking murder a baby or not. I'm trying to if you're gonna try to murder a baby or raise one, and it's a very razor thin line, and there's not a lot of margin for error.
Yeah.
Because you, as a guy going through a pregnancy scare, you can't be more pro-choice than she is. You know what I'm saying? That's a very delicate thing. Because if you come in too high, like, let's get the fuck out, let's get this thing the fuck out of here. It's taking up mad space.
You like immediately get on the phone Planned Parenthood. You're like, yo,
and the girl's like, yo, relax. You don't want to. You don't want me to be the mother. You don't want to be my baby's father? That gets her upset. And she'll keep it just to prove a point.
You really do have to skirt that line.
You got to be delicate,
like whatever you want to do, whatever that looks like to you.
Yeah. She's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, Uno reverse, what do you want to do? I don't think it's about what I want at this point. And I can't, I have to, like, you have a pregnancy scare and you immediately turn into a politician running for office.
You won't answer anything directly.
Nothing directly. I'm paying very center.
Yeah. What do you want to do, babe? I am on board with whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Because I support you 100%. He literally he started doing this. Whatever you want. He has a country accent.
I'm doing this, but I can't hide the fact that I'm not ready to have a kid, so I start punching her in the stomach. I believe in a woman's right to fuck.
Literally, I was like, oh my God. It was so insane.
It wasn't a relief, but like Samantha was like, what the fuck do you mean you don't know what you want? Let's get this thing out. We can't do it.
He's like, whatever you want to do. I'm like, I'm not. I mean, no, I don't think I would have actually.
No, I know, but that was the energy that you were giving off. No,
because I was just, you
were nervous, of course.
And if you think, I mean, that's like a huge thing. So I was definitely going to go
way
through.
Bigger for you too.
I was going to definitely go through a roller coaster of emotions if it was a yes, but he started like rubbing my stomach. I was like, get off. I'm like, what are you doing? We just rubbed my stomach, and then you're like, and then I said something. I was like, I forgot what I said, and you were like, no, but you're pregnant. I was like, shut up! I don't know that I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy. Then we took the test, and we found out I wasn't, and I was just like, get me a fucking joint immediately. Yeah. I have to smoke.
Yeah, honestly, it ended up being really fun. It ended up being a nice little fun thing for the both of us to do together. You know what I'm
it brought us closer.
It really did. It was fun. I was ready. I wasn't like ready actually, but like, emotionally.
Yeah.
But I felt like, it'd be nice to have a job.
Yeah.
Rodrigo, if you're listening, I heard you had an employment opportunity. I don't know what the fuck you're doing sitting on it.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want it. It's like you don't even want
a baby on the way.
It's like you don't even want my dad to be on the podcast. But that was a trip. So
that was absolutely a trip.
They thought you was pregnant, and we did too for a second.
Yeah, they thought I had a baby. I almost did. Yeah,
it's just what it was.
It's just what it was.
What else we got?
And then we got one who said from I won't even say who it's from. And then it was I can't get out of this. I am friend zoned by my coworker, but I want to suck her white toes. Now, see, I don't know if she's talking about her white toenails or if she's a white woman.
Yeah, I'm saying in February, that's fucking crazy.
What, her
Black History Month? And all you think about is white toes, my brother? Come on, man.
I think he means like white toenails.
You think about white toes because the white man wants you to be 10 toes down in the struggle, my brother. You're not even listening.
You sound like, what's his name? The
Dr.
guy?
Umar.
Yeah.
I'm a supporter.
Yeah. Okay. But no,
It would be a privilege to be a white slave in Dr. Umar's America.
You're so dumb.
Because I would be a house
All right.
slave.
But I think you talk about white tone because that's like a
no white
such a thing
toenails. No,
online,
that makes sense.
online.
I get that. Friends at work? Shit, man. If that's your coworker, honestly, right now, I think right now more than ever, hitting on your coworker is in because of Alicia Keys and Usher at the Super Bowl, and then the subsequent sketch of Drewski after. The workplace romance is hotter than it's ever been right now in the streets. Yeah. So my advice to you: shoot your shot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever hooked up with a coworker?
No.
Besides me?
No, not really. Not really. I don't.
What does that mean?
I mean, kinda. Not
well,
really.
You're gonna have to explain yourself.
Like, all right, this will be out. But me.
So then that is a yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that the girl who sat on the floor?
No, we never worked together, but I did meet her at an acting class. That bitch was crazy. She's a nice bird, but she's just got a couple screws loose.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
She does have a connected commercial, so maybe we should go fuck her again.
No, thank you. That's a setup. I know I got a fucking baby on the way. What are you, out of your fucking mind?
I'm gonna be a father.
I'm about to be a father. But no, I mean, I haven't had like an actual like real workplace romance besides you, and you know that wasn't a romance. But no, I haven't. What about you?
It wasn't a romance.
It wasn't like not you. Yours was a romance. The other one was not a romance.
Oh.
You know.
No, I've definitely hooked up, and not like in my career, like not within like when I've had real jobs, but like please, when I was a teenager or any part-time job I've had, absolutely.
Oh yeah, you was hooking up.
That's what makes you go to. You're like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, you have your little work time crush.
What's your favorite work time fling that you ever had?
No, all of them were. It was all like
what was your favorite one?
Favorite one.
I'll tell you my favorite one of your work time flings.
I don't want to know.
We already talked about movie theaters. Samantha used to work at a movie theater. She had a munch. It's just what it is. It's true. Yeah.
Dude, that guy, and he was also fat, and he just wanted to eat.
No body shaming. You can't body shame somebody that you gave puss to.
Yeah. Well, I didn't give him puss.
You gave him access to your puss munch food wise.
What's it gonna do with me?
It was your puss getting eaten. It was equal opportunity.
You're just feeding the hungry. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that your favorite one though?
Ew. I wasn't. No, it's gross. I don't know. I can't even say that. It makes me literally sick.
Just say it and we'll edit it out.
No, that guy. I'm saying. I guess.
I mean, were you like excited to go to work knowing that wasn't the best part of your shift? I would think that would be the best part of your shift.
No, honestly, working in a movie theater was just mad fun because everybody was like the same age and we were just having a blast.
Yeah, I love how you're just overlooking the fact that you would also from time to time, periodically on the clock, get your box eaten.
Yeah, my lunch break. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
You had a top monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wild.
You had a throat goat.
Just what it was,
and it's what it is, and that you're like, we're just young and all the same age. And no, you're getting your puss ate on the clock. That's pretty fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, I was getting paid $6.25 to get my puss eaten. Just minimum wage puss.
That's a pretty good deal. Most people gotta pay for that privilege.
Crazy.
Yeah, what a time in life, man. Fucking, but now we're in fucking Biden's America.
Here we are. I know.
God forbid.
God. Dude. Wow, what a different time though. If I was getting paid $15 to get my box eaten, right? I mean, what a deal.
This, I'll tell you what. This new fucking generation, they complain about everything. They get their pussy eaten for fucking cash money.
That's crazy.
That's just what it is. But yeah, so you, my person, workplace fling, make a move, man. It's hot right now.
Why not?
Post Valentine's Day. I feel like this is one of the.
No, but he said he's been friend zoned by her.
Oh well, pop.
Well, you can't. To me, it is really hard to get out of a friend zone.
Yeah.
There's a reason why she placed you there, and for a woman, it's hard. Our shit is all mental. Yeah. Like, you could be the hottest guy ever, but if we've placed you in the friend zone, it's so hard to get out of there.
I don't think I've been like friend zoned in a way that I'm like, I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
But the advice to me, the only logical advice as a guy, if you're a guy and you're in the friend zone, you have to blow it up. You have to blow it up.
What do you mean?
Blow up the friendship. You have to make it in a way, because you can play the long game, but which is what most guys do, and I feel like that's tough.
Yeah.
What you have to do, if you want something romantic, you have to be like, hey, I want you romantically. Obviously, make a move, and I'm just saying the thing. You have to tell her how you feel and what you want and make a move. Be assertive. Be the first one to bring it up. Don't let her bring it up. You bring it up. And if she's like, no, I think we're just friends. Okay, I don't feel comfortable being just friends with you because I want more.
Yeah.
You blow it up. Because when she comes back, if she comes back, it's going to be on a different type of time because you've expressed yourself.
Yeah.
And in that, there is respect for yourself. And I'm sure she's not that good of a friend. Not because she's a bad person, but come on, dude.
Just coworkers.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Make a fucking move. Blow the friend zone up because it's not serving you now.
Yeah.
And you're not biding your time until her puss comes in. It's way less likely that something in the future leads to you getting puss from the friend zone than you stating your intention, not being friends. And then if you ever cross paths again, she'll know what it is.
And that's the mature way. But if you know that she's petty, just start flirting with another girl at your job and then you got her where you want her. Come on. It's a lot easier than you think.
Yeah.
So that's what I think he should do.
Gotta do something bold though.
And also, just want to say my unpopular opinion is I think any woman who does her toes only white is a pick me bitch. Because that is such a fucking thing that happened on Twitter that everyone's like white toes only, and then you see all these hoes with white toes. I'm like, I almost exclusively don't do white toes because I'm like, I'm not gonna let a man tell me what to put on my fucking feet.
Yeah.
You're gonna get these toes however the fuck I want them.
Yeah, dog.
I hate that's like such a new age thing.
Yeah, and honestly, bro, the color of the toes is like the least important thing.
Yeah.
Bro. I know a nice toe when I see a nice toe.
Yeah,
it's getting put in my mouth.
So that's my thing. Unless you listen to this pod and you have white toes, then I love you, bitch.
Yeah, but then if them toes is nice, you can paint them any color. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now
what the fuck do they do for work if he knows she has white toes?
Well, maybe she has her toes open in the summer.
It's the winter though.
I know, but he probably might have worked there in the summer and she has sandals on.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, then we got another one. Why do white people love Taylor Swift so much?
Shit,
and we could just make this quick. She makes white people. She's a white woman,
yeah,
and people will relate to her. And unpopular opinion, she's not for me, but she's not as bad as everybody wants to make her.
Yeah, white people love Taylor Swift.
She makes pop. I mean, like boppy music, and that's always historically been what people like.
White people love Taylor Swift for the same reason I'm sure Latinos love Bad Bunny. It's for you. It's for them.
It's for them.
Taylor Swift is the best version of them. And I guess, that makes her fun.
And also, let's also be very clear. She has some bops.
Yeah, no. Her music is fine, but I think, let's a little theory. I think that Taylor Swift is as white of a woman as it exists. She's a prototypical, like tall, blonde, skinny, like she pretty much reaffirms a lot of the white stereotypes, and she just I think in these times in the 2020s, people might feel the pressure to have fat asses.
Yeah, and I think
Taylor Swift for white people reminds them, hey, the ass doesn't have to be fat.
It doesn't have to be fat.
We're white.
Yeah. You could just be white. That's the thing. It's like a lot of people talk about like white artists that like appropriate black culture, and she doesn't at all.
No,
she is just herself, business. And it's like, why is everyone so mad? She's making music that is very
true to her,
very
it resonates with everybody.
Yeah, and and people like it. Who cares? Yeah. I don't know why people make such a big deal.
Yeah,
there's a lot of artists I don't. I mean, the fact that like Taylor Swift gets all this hate, but there's people like BB Rexa making music, and it's like, man, go take it up with BB Rexa.
Yeah. She does push the flat butt agenda that I do think white people are looking. They've been looking for an avenue to push it forward because the Kardashians have been running rampant.
Yeah.
So I think they do need a champion with the flat butt to remind everybody, hey, the beauty standards from the 60s still exist.
Still exists for
all
us.
Right, Marilyn Monroe was a blip on the radar. We didn't even know why that happened. Let's get some flat butts back in there.
Yeah, flat butts back in the
Pancake
mix. Okay, then another one. It says, old question, I know, but what's your opinion on dating apps? Are they dead? I just don't even know how people meet other people. I don't think they're dead.
Yeah, no, I think they're more alive than they've ever been.
I think that, yeah.
You know what? Because honestly, and there's no problem with this. It's just the evolution of society. Most older people, because for me, doing shows, I'm sure, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for you, but I speak to more people on stage hosting than I would ever speak to in my actual life. And you ask them questions and you figure out where they're from and how they've met. And so many people connect on the internet.
Yeah.
Older people, it's usually like Match or something like that.
Yeah, older people definitely, because they're taking it seriously and they're being intentional, they're paying for it.
Yeah, but it's
because like Match and all those stuff you pay for.
Yeah. I think we would be bugging to say dating apps are dead.
No. I would say they were probably
they're as alive as they've ever been. They're as good as they've ever been. It's a very reasonable place to find somebody because just how you find your communities on the internet that like the same things as you, like you find people that are interested in the same things that you dating wise. I think it's smart. I think obviously if you can meet somebody in real life, do it that way too. I don't really even think there's a difference at this point.
Honestly, at this point, I mean, people are going to fake who they are in real life and also online. So just pick your poison at this point. And it's also, I know you never really did the dating app thing. you know,
that's fine. I'm sure.
I mean, it's not. It's awful, but it is like when you are single and you're trying to find somebody. I mean, you have to put effort into doing that.
That's how you put yourself out there.
Especially, and it's like I'm not one that I don't have a lot of single friends, and I also don't really like meeting people out either. Because like I feel like why are you coming up to me? Because for me, I'm such a weirdo, but like I don't like being complimented on how I look because I feel like that has nothing to do with with who I am, and I didn't choose this.
I feel that.
So when people come up to me and I'm like, oh, you're only coming up to me because you think I'm pretty, and now you don't even actually care what I have to say because a guy doesn't matter. You could be the worst person and they're still gonna try to fuck.
No, it's true.
So it's like for me, I'm like. I'm always like, I hate you that you came up to me. It's one like for me, like if I've met people in a group at
setting,
a thing, and then like they, you know, and then like I'm at my best and I'm making jokes, and they're like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, there's a situation.
It's a situation that always made me feel good, but I don't like meeting people at a bar either because I'm like, what are you even doing here?
Yeah, because all there is that we have in common is that we've seen each other. Yeah. So everything you're saying to me is based on the way that you think I look. And I know for women it happens all the time. Yeah. It's happened to me a couple of times as a guy, and I don't really like it either. Contrary to, like for me, it's like a girl, she'll come up and be like, oh my God, I can see your fat dick print. It's so big. Can I see it? And I'll be like, no, I'm more than my fucking massive horse cock.
I know. It's the same thing when guys come up to me, they're like, yo, you got titties for days. Yeah. I'm like, yo, I just hate that. I just like my eyes are up here.
Yeah, what bothers me about that is that, you know, you're making a joke about your titties, but my horse cock is actually
Oh, and that brings us to your question that we got from a friend of yours.
Oh shit, yeah. Okay, so let's bring that up. But yeah, are dating apps dead? No, they're not. I think it's if you are looking for love and connection or whatever you're looking for, the dating apps are a great place to start because I think the way that society's evolved, most people are uncomfortable meeting in person. Yeah. So to truly put yourself out there, I think you got to be on the outside. I can't fucking breathe and talk.
Yeah. One thing about me, I'm a little wasty.
Well, one thing about you that I was going to have that, I think you was wasted before the episode started. Just what it is. You've been drinking ever since you found out you was pregnant. That's just what it is. All right. But yeah, I got a confession from a friend or a topic from a friend who wants to remain anonymous. So I'm just going to say a friend. Let's call him Gabe. And shout out my broski Gabe. Gabe hit me on the side. Gabe is also a valued patron. One of the first ones.
If you're a friend of ours listening to this, you're not as good as Gabe. You're not as good a friend as Gabe.
Unfortunately, and you are a good friend, but Gabe is an actual patron.
Debatable.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gabe is a patron. Yeah. So Gabe is a super softie, and so he gets to call the fucking shots, and that's what he did. Yeah. He texted me. He was like, hey, man, I just need you to talk about this. He's like, his girl said, you can't be out here dressing like a slut when you go out to this R&B party, because Gabe was at the R&B party. So he's like, you can't be out here dressing like a slut at this R&B party. She said that before I left. She said, no light colored sweats or pants. My question is Sam opposed to you wearing gray sweats out of the house when she's not with you? Or is she okay with, as my queen put it, you dressing like a slut? So that one's for you.
Well, you don't even have light colored sweats, do you?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, your cream ones.
I do, but those are like dirty. I don't wear those. I've done shows in those though.
Yeah. It's never really crossed my mind because you don't get a big dick print. No, I'm just joking.
No. It's just what it is. It's just what it is.
No, I'm joking.
No, I mean, I'm comfortable with my penis size. My print isn't huge though.
Well, yeah, because you're not walking around rock hard all day. Like, I think this is a way for Gabe to flex. I think Gabe would be like, I got a long, big cock.
No, and it's unfortunately, I'm sorry if that makes our listeners uncomfortable. He's a patron. He's a great guy, and he is cocked up.
Oh my God,
what's wrong with that?
JC loves to keep me updated on the size of his friends' cocks.
Well, they're cocked up, dude.
Yeah,
I have a friend. His name is
no.
No, I'm not going to talk about his penis. I'm just going to talk about why this is important for me and my group. The way I grew up. I have a friend. His name is Adam. We call him Ace. He's a very funny guy. Anytime that a girl would act like, because when we were in college, girls would do the high school thing. They'd be like, oh, you know, what's up with your friend? Yeah. Can I talk to your friend? And if a girl ever approached Adam and asked him about anybody that he knew or hung out with, even if he wasn't that cool with them, he would say the same three things. He'd be like, oh, him? Dog. He gets money. He's hilarious. And he's got a fat cock. That's what Adam would say every time.
That's a good
Funny,
friend.
Gets money, big dick. All my dudes is cocked up. That's what he would say no matter what, no matter who was asking, no matter who he was talking about. Oh,
it's almost worse.
You talking about JC? Fucking hilarious, bro. And low-key gets money and his shit is fat.
That's almost the worst because then they see it and it's like...
Yeah, but you
gotta... Because it makes it like if someone says... someone has a huge dick, now you're expecting it. Yeah. So even if you have like an okay, like a decent, does the work dick, people are gonna be, they're gonna be like, oh my god, that's like what Pete Davidson says about Ariana Grande, that she told everybody that his dick was so big, and he's like, yeah, because you're like 4'11". Yeah, like every dick is big to you because you're a child size.
I feel that, but my thing is, if I'm Adam and I'm just trying to get my homies laid, it's like, hey, let me do everything I can to put this at the rim. She's already interested. Let me tell her what she needs to hear to put her over the edge. And I always respected that, so I always do that for my homies. You know what I'm
very
saying?
funny.
But yeah, how do you feel about the way that I dress when I go out? When you're not there?
I don't know. I never thought about it. I go for it. I don't even think about it.
Yeah. I don't ever feel like I dress crazy.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't even think about it. I think maybe more for Gabe because he's so tall and like people can see him from.
Gabe is a specimen, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, like anytime we've ever been out and he's there and there's other comics that are like, who the fuck is that? All the time. So
unfortunately,
Gabe is just a very, very tall guy. He's very noticeable in a crowd. If you were like as tall as Gabe and like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like in a sea of people, Gabe sticks out. It's like anybody can see him. He can't hide. I would be like, yeah. You're gonna have to stay on your knees while you're outside. It's just not, you're not going to stand up straight. But I do.
Yeah, unfortunately, Leticia, no matter what you do, Gabe is 6'4" and he's fucking well built and he's handsome. He's got a great smile.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Gabe is married to Leticia, who is an ass the size of Texas. So yeah, she's a gorgeous woman. She's one thing about her, she looks like the female JC. She's just got green eyes. She's hot. It's just what it is. Yeah, one thing about that, I want to watch some fuck. They're hot. They're a hot couple.
Yeah, so
they're also it's very funny because they show you the spectrum of being Dominican. It's like you can look like this or you could look like that.
Yeah.
They're complete the spectrum of Dominican. Their babies are gonna be like they're gonna look like us.
They're a case study. That's what they are. They're a case study of the couple. So what it sounds like Samantha's saying is, Letty, you're worried about playing defense, you gotta get out there and play some offense.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to go out there and wear one of those net dresses with just a thong on. Show these ladies what it is. Yeah.
She's just gonna have to start going out dressing like a bottle girl. Gabe, you want to wear gray? You want to wear gray sweats? All right, hold this fucking bodysuit. Hold this onesie.
I always think about you going out, because you have like your hair and stuff, and I'm always like, oh, he's like noticeable. Yeah. And I know that there's like, you know, like most girls are.
I'm almost like peacocking a little bit. When I go out,
and I just feel like, you know, like if you're out and you're being yourself and you're being like goofy and you're dancing and you dance well, and I feel like there are definitely people like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And I think about that, but I'm never worried. I don't think about it enough. Yeah. Also, you barely go out.
I really do.
So maybe if it was a more often thing, I would be like, no. But
also, Leticia should have came to the fucking R&B party. That's the best defense.
That was the best defense.
The best defense is a good offense.
I guess I wouldn't want you to go out when you slick your hair back in a ponytail.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. But I don't think I look that much different.
You don't, but people are so stupid.
It's more acceptable.
No, but people are so dumb. It's like, shout out to Bassam Shaw, but he like looked up, I think we talked about this. He looked up JC and he saw JC was short. He's like, oh, you're good looking. And I'm like, because people are so dumb. They see your hair and that's the only thing they see. And they're like, oh, he's got big curly hair. And they're not looking at your gorgeous face.
Yeah.
And when your hair is pulled back, like I remember the first time you put your hair back and I like took a picture of you and I posted it and like Luis Galilei was like, yo, Papi looks hot. I'm like, I know. And then like I think I've said this on the pod, but it's very funny because the gays always get it. Yeah. I've gotten more DMs from gay men that I've known throughout my life that are like, yo, your man is hot. Like this one guy I know too, he's like, yo, this one? Different. And I was like, I know.
You know what's funny? It's like no matter what I do to my hair, I could cut it, I could slick it back, I could look as hot as I could possibly ever, like by regular standards. Nothing I do to my face or body or hair can ever cure the GBFS that I have. The gay best friend syndrome. Yeah. That's just what I'm gonna give, and it's just gonna shine, radiate through, no matter who talks to me.
I don't think that's true. I think you don't realize what a sex pot you are. I think you really don't.
That's just what it is.
It's just how it had to be. But we have a couple more.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, so somebody really wants to know our thoughts on Scandival. And I don't want to. They asked us twice in 2 different days.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get into it too much, but obviously Tom is an idiot. He's a child. It says anyone who's not listening to Vanderpump. Yeah. He's a child. He's an idiot. He's annoying, but also Ariana, move the fuck out of that house.
Oh my god.
Like your reasons, I guess, but also remembering we're watching now. This was like 4 months.
She's still there though, no?
Yeah, I think she actually is still there. Yeah. So move out. That's annoying to me. I'm just like, you're making your life so much more difficult and stupid for no reason. You're standing your ground for no reason. I don't know why you wouldn't want that energy out of your life. So that's my thoughts on it, but I don't really want to get too into it.
Yeah, I don't want to waste too much time on it, but it's obviously crazy. But at this point, Tom is so obviously who he is.
Oh my God.
And as long as Ariana can make it work on the show with everybody around, like, stay, get your money, do your thing. It's going to get to a point where everybody forgives Tom except for Ariana, which is fair.
She doesn't have to, them.
But she's going to have to stop being angry at everybody accepting him because they're going to be on the show. They're going to want to talk to him again. And she's going to have to choose whether she wants to talk to him or get off the show.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to be.
Just gonna have to
and I think she's going to choose to talk to him and stay on the show. That's what I think. And that doesn't make her a bad person, but like then you can't act like you're so hurt anymore.
Yeah, because I'm wondering how even the reunion's going to look. Like, she's going to have to answer questions about Tom and to Tom, but we'll see.
I think she's going to get over it and they're going to be friends again.
Yeah. All right. Then we have another question. It says, I know you both don't believe in following exes, but what about following or keeping in touch with past sexual partners or situationships?
Keeping in touch to me is crazy. Keeping in touch to me is crazy. I will never reach out to anybody that I've ever had, like, no happy birthdays, no nothing.
Yeah.
Like, if they ever message me for whatever reason about a clip or like, oh, this is funny, I'll double tap it. I'll say thank you, but I'll never engage in a conversation.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. How do you feel about that?
I don't speak to anybody.
Really?
There's not a single person that I follow, or when I'm done with somebody, I'm done, and I just never, whether we were just a situationship or I'm of the mind that, like, once we're done, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
We are strangers again, and and it's not like hate, it's just I don't like to carry, I just feel like I need to live like it was in 1980.
Yeah.
Where when we're done, I'm done with you.
We don't have to do this
I don't need to follow you, and it's not that I hate you, I just don't need you in my life going forward. So for me, I don't really get it. And
definitely is weird too.
When I'm done with somebody, the door is usually closed. Yeah. And like, I don't follow them to be like, oh, maybe one day I'll have to. So I'm just not into it. I've spun the block on one person once, and then I realized what a mistake. Yeah. So I don't even. Yeah.
Historically in my life, I've been a block spinner. Yeah. Things because the way that I was living, the door was never shut. You have another one right here.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I'm gonna like tangerine.
All right. Also, try to pear.
Tangerine.
Try to pear. Just don't make it grizzly. Don't throw up on nobody.
Oh, that's really delicious.
You like it?
Yeah.
Perfect. But yeah, so I think keeping in contact is a little bit much.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to let your partner know, but I don't think there's any need to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you actually have to be friends on an everyday basis. I can imagine not being at odds with this person. Yeah. But there's nothing you have to talk about on the side. You can just you can like a comment if they send something nice. That's what I do. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then that's that.
Oh, so these bitches.
I have had, like, oh, this is so funny. And then that's it.
Huh. And then it doesn't get brought up to me.
I mean, because I can...
How about talk about it after the pod? It's no big deal. I'm not even upset.
Damn.
I'm not even upset.
Well, ladies and gentlemen...
So then we know how you feel about having them in your followers, so you must follow them back.
I don't... I haven't...
Monroe woke up just to look at me. She's like, Mitch...
my parents are getting divorced.
She's like, are we fighting?
And we got a baby on the way.
Yeah, no, Monroe, you're just going to have another mother.
Ay. Well... That's unfortunate because I'm having a blast this episode, and then the question came and I'm like, how badly do I want to be honest? But I can guarantee I don't ever reach out to nobody, and there's no conversational. It's no back and forth.
Yeah.
No back and forth.
So the question is, I don't believe in it, but apparently somebody else does because he wants to have somebody there in case we don't work out.
So no, not true. So right now, what you're gonna see on my Instagram profile is that I follow about 1,200 people, and then at the end of tomorrow, by the time this episode goes up, it's gonna be like 1,194 because that's not like there's that many, but they will not be followed anymore. Yeah, and that's just a guarantee.
Yeah, well, we already know that you followed them because you remember you followed the girl you lost your virginity to, and that's how you found me.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
Fucking follow me.
Yeah, that's true. No, true. And then we just gotta go. We gotta go back. We gotta slam some doors, and that's why I love this podcast because we learn things, we find out about each other, and we live our life in the best possible way. And I'm sorry.
The best part about this podcast is we're gonna turn off the cameras and we're never gonna talk about it again.
That's a joke.
Yeah, we're gonna have a long talk.
Ah, shit.
Well, okay,
all right, wait. No, what else?
I think we have more.
I got
This is also a long episode, but I'm enjoying myself.
I know, this is fun.
Okay, we got one more.
Okay.
Oh, favorite things about each other. Get deep. Do you want to do yours first, and then we can end on a good note?
Yeah, we'll end on a good note. I mean, this one's funny too. We got a question from my dog Robo2, very funny comedian in New York City, runs great shows. Rob, we're actually gonna hit you up because you know how to put butts in seats.
Yeah.
So take that price down a little bit. I don't know what it is, but knock it off a little bit, and then we'll
we don't got a
talk.
fucking job.
And also, we can't give you any time, so you're just gonna have to do it. But my man Robo2, he asked, he's like, if the next mayor of New York City was a New York City celebrity, who would you want it to be?
Yes. I'm gonna go Cardi B.
Cardi B?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I just think that she's no shits. You know what I mean? And she's
also a little political. She's got in the mix.
She's got a little political, but when she went on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked her about political. She's like, hey, I'm done with that. So that's the old me. And I get it because same. I don't want to talk about that shit either.
Politics is literally so fucking 2020.
Oh my God.
If you're paying attention to politics after the pandemic, I don't know. Yeah. You're part of the problem.
Yeah, low-key.
Because in 2020, it was like, oh, if you don't know what's going on, you're part of the problem. Now, if you're actually tuned in, it's like, oh, you still think this can change?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you haven't given up hope by now, you're hopeless.
Yeah.
It's just, it's insane. I don't care. But I feel like Cardi's really good because with her, like, if somebody does something that she doesn't like, they're going to have beef with her forever. And I think she's going to hold them accountable. Yeah. And I like it. I'm into it. I think, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think she's really good.
If I had one, well, it depends. I'm in between two. I think Jadakiss would be a really fun one. Oh my God, this guy said 50 Cent. 50 Cent would be good.
He's not New York City.
Jadakiss?
He's Yonkers. Technically,
that's not the city?
Not New York City. We do not have the same mayor.
Well, I think Jada's still a New York legend. I think, after that versus, if nothing else, after that versus with you can't pick Cameron. He's like, he lives in Miami. I'm outside.
He's in Jersey.
Yeah. It can't be 50. 50 lives in Connecticut, and the one that taught us that was Jada. Yeah. So I would, if it was a rapper, I would like it.
That's me. Jadakiss is me when people say they're from New York, and I'm like, no, the fuck they're not. I get so mad.
Yeah, Jadakiss would be my pick if it was a rapper. It wouldn't be 50. He wasn't living in New York. And Jay-Z, I feel like would be like a real politician.
Yeah. No. We just gotta have fun.
That kid's too tapped in. Yeah. It would need to be Jadakiss for a change. And if not Jadakiss, give me Larry David. Give me Larry David. Give me LD because he's old, so he fits the profile.
And he could just throw in Bernie Sanders and nobody would know the difference.
That's what I'm saying. Because make no mistake. We need to feel the burn.
Yeah.
I don't know about politics. I learned about this maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I knew Bernie was the one then. I know he's the one now. We gotta get that fucking old bag of bones in office.
Yeah, well, he is, but we need him in New York.
Yeah, if somebody's gonna have dementia, let it be fucking Bernie Sanders. Because give me LD. I think LD's gonna make the hard decisions people don't want to make.
Guy.
He's a Brooklyn kid. He's gonna call it what it is.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna be a little crude. He's gonna be the Democratic Trump, honestly.
Yeah, he's
gonna call it out. He's gonna say what it is. He's gonna drain the swamp.
Yeah.
Give me LD if we're going to a mayor.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And what else?
Okay, so we had
that's all.
Yes, and we had the one last one.
Oh, I got one from somebody. Shit, where's my phone? Okay, do you have one? Read yours.
Well, we wanted to end on the good note. What's our favorite thing about each other? Okay. Or do you want to end on that one?
I got one from somebody that I met in Philly when I went on the road with Max. Her name is Brooke. Shout out Brooke. I remember meeting her. She was really nice, and she had a friend that came up to me and said how funny I was and how they like my stuff about you, because all I do is talk about Samantha on stage. Make no mistake, they didn't come in with any ill intentions because I wouldn't allow it. I do not.
Oh, just the girls you fucked.
Here we go.
Not the girls who like you for being in a relationship.
And there it is.
Yeah.
And it's just what it is. And she was like, oh, check your DM. I sent you a message a month ago. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm fucking slim.
Yeah. You might as well fuck them, but then they'll like it and say thank you.
But she said something really nice. She said something because she saw me at the Helium in Philly. Great club. Shout out to the Helium. She's like, hi, this is for me and my friend. We loved your stuff. We can't stop talking about how funny you were and how much you stood out. The gift of laughter is the most beautiful thing. Thank you. We wish you so much good luck, and we hope you come back to Philly soon. We stalked you, and next time we hope you tour with your girlfriend instead. You both blow everyone out the water easily, and we're rooting for your success.
Yes.
And
hey,
that
Brooke.
is my favorite type of message to read.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be better. I have to be better about responding to people that say nice things. I had a lot of people from Philly reach out.
Yeah,
a lot of people from Stanford reach out.
Yeah.
I have to be better about that because it's so easy for me to accept negativity and respond to negative comments.
To respond to those
I'm gonna
people.
respond to all the people that are really nice, and that I love doing that because, it's just nice. It's real nice. It feels good, and I feel sad that I take those and I don't accept them as heavily as I said.
Yeah, no. You have to respond because those are your people that will be fans and buy tickets,
especially of us, because we will be going to Philly at some point.
At some point in our lives. So, what is your favorite thing about me? And make it good deep. Because we're gonna fight after.
All right. If honestly you want to know my favorite thing about you, take your pants off. Let's get deep.
Yeah. Not too deep because the IUD's expired.
You know what's funny about that?
If you're going balls deep, you're coming too fast.
Yeah,
Shout out to Jared's dad who told him that.
It's true. You know what's funny about Samantha? We had that whole pregnancy scare. I'm like, all right, well, I guess until we get this figured out, I'm going to have to pull out. I don't think.
I'm like, well, that's crazy.
And she's like, well, don't be ridiculous. I'm like, what are you talking about? You were just freaking out.
Grow up.
Oh, come on. And I wasn't even pregnant. I'm like, you were the one freaking out about it.
Yeah, but it's a new day. It's a new me.
It's a new day, new me. I've had a couple of hot
I got a couple of hot notes. Anything inside me is going to be dead. I'm drinking vodka seltzer.
No, honestly, you're seeing my favorite thing about you right now is like, honestly, you're so funny and you're so silly. And I love how comfortable, because one thing that I feel about myself is very important that everybody feels comfortable around me. And I can tell just by talking to you, like even early in our relationship, before you let yourself be super silly, how important that is to you. And I love the way you make people feel. I love watching people respond to you. Mm-hmm. Like I love watching the moment where people realize how fucking dope you are. It's my favorite thing, because it's like, yeah, duh, of course it is. Like, and I'm lucky because I get to experience it every day, but I love watching people figure it out for themselves and be like, yo, she's funny, she's hilarious, she's fucking cool as shit, and she's got a fast. So and it's just what it is, and I love that. That's my favorite thing about you.
Yes. My favorite thing about you is that you allow me to be myself. I feel like I think what makes our podcast special, I think it's what makes us special. I think like I've been in relationships where like I could not talk about anything that's happened in my past ever. I had to act like everything was brand new, and like you know, they just hated the fact that I had a past, and I feel like you're an adult and you're like, yeah, you've lived before me, and I don't have to hide. I'm truly myself. And I remember one time, like a friend of mine was talking about something that she had did, nothing like cheating or anything, but she did like a drug, and she had lied in the beginning of her relationship. She had lied to her man about it, and it was like eating her up, and they were like 8 years into the relationship, and she was like, I just feel like I have to tell him. I was like, I don't think he even remembers. And she was like, no, but like this is my love, like I have to be honest. And at the time I was in a terrible relationship, and I was like, just lie about it, I mean, who cares? And she was like, no, this is like my person. And I didn't get it. And then now I'm with you, I'm like, I don't want to lie to you about anything.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I want you to know who I am and what makes me tick and like why I am this way. And I'm like, you know me for who I really am, and I feel like I've hid that from a lot of people. Like, I've always been silly and stuff within relationships, but I just feel like I can truly be myself, like in every way, and I don't have to lie about anything. I can tell you everything about me, and you don't ever make me feel ashamed for anything. So I love that about you. And then all the orgasms as well.
Yeah, we do well. We have our best time. Yeah. And no matter what, we're never gonna break up. But if we ever did, I would respond to all your DMs, and I would have a conversation.
I know you would, 'cause you do it anyway.
No, I don't. That's not true. That's not true. It's not true. It's not true. No way. You're not true.
Yeah, but you like the bikini pics too.
No. We talked about that. We're done with that.
Yeah, until after I said it. Just what it was.
Well, I think we're all seeing the effects of a long pod, a pod that happened too long. It was gone on too long.
Yeah, one thing I love with the JC, let's be honest, but I don't want to hear him be honest. Let's be crystal clear. I don't want to hear it. You could tell I've had a high noon or two.
It's just what it is.
You could tell I'm noomed out.
Yeah, you're noomed out.
Yeah.
And you're a little high.
Living off the chin.
It's just what it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably one of my favorite episodes that we've ever done. I've had a blast. This has been Soft Launch. We got plenty of shows coming up. We're going to be back at the stand in March 24th. 23rd. March 23rd, 5 p.m. at the stand. We're going to be, we have Brownish at the end of this week. It's going to be on the 25th on Sunday. That's going to be a blast. We're going to be in Emus, Pennsylvania on March the 2nd.
Yes.
That's going to be a lot of fun. If you're in the Pennsylvania area, come check us out. And then we are going to be in Portland, Maine on April 12th. Shout out to Gabby. That's her birthday. We're going to be in Portland, Maine. Come check us out there.
If you or someone you know lives in Maine, tell them about us. If you or someone you know lives in Emus, Pennsylvania, let them know about us.
Let them know we coming. All right. And always, of course, www.patreon.com/softlaunch. Become a super softie and get this fucking fire Patreon episode.
Yeah, $5 a month. Even though it says $18, it's not $18. That's how much money we're making in total.
Yeah. $5 a month for you guys. And you'll get this fire episode that we're about to record for you.
Yes.
But for now, that's going to do it for us. I've been JC Mendoza.
I'm Samantha Santos.
Peace.
Bye.